Hey, Coach, so glad you found us. Couple things. First of all, subscribe. We love those people that subscribe. That's the first thing. Second thing is go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Let me help you win more games, less time, 30 plus years of coaching. Come join our community. It is unbelievable. There's nothing else like it. 14-day free trial. It's the only place you'll find that on the web. Let us help you become better basketball coaches. All right, let's head off to the video. Hey, welcome to the podcast. Before I jump in, I'd like to give a big shout out to our two sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish, the #1 shooting machine on the market, bar none. Mention any of our podcasts, mention Coach Collins, Coach Unplugged, High School Hoops, 5-minute basketball coaching podcast, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't matter. And they'll give you $450 off. Tell them Coach Collins sent you, and they will take really, really, really good care of you. Also go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It is the one-stop shop for basketball coaches. As I'm you can tell by my voice, as I'm in the meat and potatoes of my season right now, getting ready for tournament time. There is no other program, no other person out there that is actually coaching, isn't an ex-coach, or isn't running a multi-million-dollar company. I am in the meat and potatoes, just like all of you, and I think I know what you need to be a successful coach at any level. So go over and check it out, teachhoops.com. All right, so the next couple of days, I'm going to take some questions from a teachhoops.com member, couple of members, and the first one is, one question I had that was asked is, what do you watch for specifically during a game? And that's hard because, and it was even harder when my son was playing because I felt like I was watching more than than coaching. I'm looking big picture when I'm watching. I'm looking how we're rotating, what we're doing on the defensive end. I'm looking at if we're running our offense, if we're swinging it, if we're setting the screens, if we're flaring, whatever we're doing. So that is the biggest thing I look for during a game. I'm looking big picture, not small picture. I'm looking, have they scored the last 3 times? Do we need to change defensively? Are we not swinging the ball in offense, or is the post not getting a touch in offense? Do we need to try something different? So it really kind of depends on the game, but I'm usually looking at big picture stuff. And I'm blessed because I have a bunch of assistant coaches that are keeping track of other things for me. But that's what I'm looking for. I'm going to keep reading. It says, what is worth saying to your players while they're playing and what is not? So while they're playing, very little on dead balls, on timeouts, on free throws, great time for corrections. Think about if you were doing something at 120 miles an hour, would you want to be corrected as you're doing it? No. So there's times, obviously, if they're on the wrong side of the court and things like that, you can move people and do that kind of stuff. But I try to keep that type of coaching unless it's a dead ball situation, which means it's not live at that point and the game isn't going on. I might try to keep it as simple as possible if I'm correcting, but for the most part, I don't. And I'm doing that correction like at a timeout when they can maybe come over and talk to me, or the throw in and they're standing next to me, or some other type of dead ball, or they're running by, and I'll try to again keep it pretty simple as far as that. As far as my assistant coaches, next question is, do you have assistant coaches watch certain things? I do. I have I'm blessed. I have 4 assistants on my bench, 3 that are not coaching their own teams. One of them is keeping an offense and a defensive possession chart to know if offense and defenses are working. So if they score on us 3 times or we stop them 3 times, I'm looking. So we're in our man-to-man and they've scored 3 times, I'm going to change it. We've come down and run one of our specific offenses or motion things, and then we've come down 3 or 4 times and not scored. I'm going to switch it. I'm going to try something else. So I have one coach kind of keeping track of that. I have another coach keeping track of rebounds and turnovers and some of the key statistics that I think that we need for us at that specific time. And then I have a third coach that's kind of looking either an offense or defense, general things. They're watching a specific player, they're watching a specific player on the other team, so our player or their player. But I give them all tasks, and there's a couple reasons I do that. Is I think it's keeps them off the officials, but it also makes me a better coach. I want all sorts of information. I want them throwing stuff at me so I know what to do and what not to do, right? Like they'll say, oh, that's not working. so there can be a conversation on the sidelines as far as what to do and kind of how to tackle it. So again, those are just some of the things that I do during a game. This would be a good course. I'm gonna have to do that this summer about specific things for classes for what's happening in a specific part of the game. But anyway, make sure you go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. We tell them to work on their craft in the off season. Some of you are approaching that off season. Come over before prices go up. And my partner wants me to get rid of the free trial. So if you're thinking about it, I jump in soon. Bye. Hey, Coach, so glad you enjoyed the video. Subscribe and like, and go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better.